154 days. 73 days at home and 81 days in the hospital. So if you've been on bed rest or you know someone that's been, you may want to stick around for this survival story. Hello mamas, it is me, Allie, and today we are going to talk about surviving bed rest. So I get asked a lot of questions about bed rest because I have a bed rest story, experience. I don't even know what you call it, but I have a history of preterm labor. It took me 12 years in order to have a successful pregnancy, and I'll get into that in another video. If you want to see it, just comment below and I'll make sure that I get that done. But anywho, so I have an incompetent cervix, which caused me to have a cerclage, and when I had my cerclage done, my doctor was like, okay, well, you're gonna need to be on bed rest. And so at that point, I had to stop working, which was difficult because I was a teacher and it was in November right after Thanksgiving. So, I mean, really the year had just started, and I went on bed rest. So about, 73 days in, I went to an appointment and my home bed rest turned into hospital bed rest because I had some complications that had developed and they wanted me to be strictly monitored. So anyway, I'm not going to get into all that, the complications and everything, but today we're going to talk about some tips for surviving bed rest. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1, follow the doctor's orders. You know, bed rest is not about just being at home and relaxing, but the ultimate goal is to have a healthy baby. So if you want to be successful in the outcome, please make sure that you follow the doctor's orders and follow them to a T. If I had followed the doctor's orders, I probably would not have ended up in the hospital and I could have stayed at home. So I'm definitely going to always say, please follow the doctor's orders. Tip number 2, have a support system. Bed rest is not easy. Cooking, cleaning, if you have other children, caring for them is going to be very difficult for you. So you're going to need to have a support system, someone that can help you with doing all the stuff that you can't do, because bed rest means that you are resting in bed. It doesn't mean that you're up doing laundry. It doesn't mean that you're up cleaning the house. It doesn't mean that you are in the kitchen cooking for everyone else. Bed rest means that you should be in the bed or in a reclining chair. So I had a reclining chair next to my bed that you can sit in and just relax all day with your feet up. I know that's hard for some of us. It was very hard for me because I was used to being the one that did everything in the household. But like I said earlier, the ultimate goal is a healthy baby. And so we want to have an environment that is conducive for that. Tip number 3, make your space your space. You know, sometimes bed rest can't happen at home. Sometimes you may end up having to move to a relative's house. Sometimes you may end up having to be in the hospital like I did. But making your space makes it so much easier. So bring pictures from home. If you've got a favorite blanket, bring it. Just do what you can in order to make that space your space. One of the things that I did was I wore a lot of comfortable clothes when I'm in the hospital. Or when I was in the hospital, because I'm not in the hospital now and I'm definitely not pregnant now, but I always wore strapless sundresses so that it was easy for me to pull them up because I had all the IVs and stuff in, instead of having to wear a hospital gown every day that buttoned up on the shoulder. So make your space your space. You may be there for a while. I mean, I would have never thought that I would have been in the hospital for 81 days, but I was comfortable after about 2 weeks. It was really like my home, and my husband's home too because he stayed there with me. Tip number 4, organize your day and make a schedule. If you're like me, I was used to getting up and going to work, having a full day at work, coming home, and being in the hospital now on bed rest. I was just like, what am I going to do with my day? Bed rest means you're in bed, you're not dead. And having a schedule to follow will help you be successful. One of the things that I did was every morning, well, once I got in the hospital, I learned how to do all these things. But every morning I would wake up at the same time. I would order my breakfast from the hospital cafeteria at the same time. I would call for the nurse to come in or the LVN to come in and give me my bed bath. Oh yeah, I was on strict bed rest. My bed bath at the same time of day. If you're the type of person where right now and you, or when you were working, you would get up and you would beat your face every day, honey, beat your face while you in that bed. But you're not dead. You're just on bed rest. You're confined to a bed. So you have to make the most of what you have. And that will help you not go stir crazy. Tip number 5, control what you can control. So while I was in the hospital, I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes. Now, I had previously, while I was at home, already been on blood thinners. So I was taking shots in my stomach every day already. And now here I am in the hospital and I've been diagnosed with gestational diabetes, which means I have to check my glucose levels 3 times a day. So basically, the nurses taught me how to do it in the hospital. And once they taught me how to do it, it was something that they allowed me to do. Now, I was fortunate enough where I had a rotation of like 3 nurses that I knew very well. And they got to know me because I was in the hospital for so long. Same nurses during the days and same nurses during the night. So if I did have a nurse that did not know me for whatever reason, and usually it was only one night, I would just let them know, no, I can do this myself. They let me do this myself. And, you know, I remember the nurses saying that I was a nightmare on paper, but I was a joy to be around the hospital because I just made the best of my situation. I controlled the things that I could control. On Tuesdays, people knew not to come and visit me because I was going to be out. I had a social group that I was allowed to go to once a week. Now, granted, I was on a stretcher and they would wheel me into the room, but I controlled leaving my room. I controlled when my visitors came. I told my visitors, don't come before this time because I'm not going to be up. I'm not going to be dressed. I'm not going to be bathed. And so you have to put limitations on other people that you can control because limitations have already been put on you. So if you are really like a type A person or red, then control what you can control and it'll make it so much easier. Tip number 6, stay connected with the outside world. So this is so easy now. When I was pregnant and on bed rest back in 2011, I had really just learned how to use Facebook. And so I didn't have that much posting going on and wasn't as savvy about it as I am now. But with technology and laptops and free Wi-Fi and cell phones, you know, all the social media outlets out there, staying connected is not that hard. So, you know, snap pictures of you on bed rest. Snap what you're doing. Snap your beat face. Snap, you know, call somebody. I know it's kind of hard during the day because people are at work, but they're not at work all day. And if you message them, they'll message you back. But don't feel like you're isolated. Invite people into your world and what you have going on, which leads to the next tip, learn something new. So while I was in the hospital on bed rest, I learned how to knit on the loom. My pastor's wife came up to the hospital one day and she was visiting me and she brought a loom kit with her and she taught me how to knit on the loom. And what I did was I knitted little baby caps. And so that was my new thing that I learned. And so while I was laying on my back, I learned how to knit. And so I knitted my daughter a couple of the hats for babies. I knitted so many hats while I was in the hospital that I was actually able to donate some of them to the NICU. And so learn to do something new. Take up a new hobby, and that will take up a lot of your time. Color. I had a friend who bought me crayons and coloring books, and I love to color. And so just doing something every day and filling my time helped me not go crazy. And the last tip, and probably the most important one, is tip number 8. Ask for help. You know, you have a support system that is in place that wants to see you have a successful pregnancy. So use them. Call on them. You know, my bed rest was very strict in the hospital. I could not get up out the bed except for to use the bathroom. and that they put right beside my bed. So when I needed to wash my hair, I couldn't get in the shower and wash my hair. So I had to call friends, and they got these big trash cans, and they put the trash cans beside the bed, and I would hang my head over off the side of the bed, and someone would wash my hair for me, and then they would braid it up for me. So it stayed braided while I was in the hospital, and I mean, I didn't look too bad when I had visitors come, but that was just something that my support system did for me. They knew that I needed it, but there's going to be times when you're going to have to ask for it. If you're at home and you need to go grocery shopping, you're going to have to make that list and ask somebody, can you please go to the grocery store for me? I know that the grocery stores have those little rideable carts that you can get on, but you're on bed rest, and we want to see you have a successful, bouncing baby at the end of this. So I hope these tips help. If you know someone that these tips can help, please pass this video on to them. And if you want more information, just comment below. I'll answer your questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, bye guys. Be blessed. And I could not finish this video without showing you the beautiful blessing that I got from my 154 days. She wanted to be in a video, and so here she is.
Hey!
Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Please follow me on Instagram at LoveMeAllie. Like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, stay strong. And my husband's home too because he stayed there with me. Tip number 4.